I think it must be take a breath time.
It is, ladies. It is time to put your stuff down. It's time to take a breath. So get out and walk away from your desk. Go ahead. Watch us on the phone. Take us with your phone. Let's take a walk. Let's join us. But guess what? We have a surprise for you today. First of all, we're together.
We're live, Wendy, in Orlando.
I know. And we have a guest. And I'm so excited to have Joe with us today. We didn't tell him this was just the girls. We invited him anyways. And we are so excited. You just cannot believe, first of all, that Deborah gets to hang out in Orlando with me for a few days. But that's not why we're here, Deborah.
No, it's not. Well, first of all, let's introduce Joe.
I would love to.
Okay.
So today we have with us the very infamous, amazing, fabulous Joe Pici from Pici and Pici. I've been blessed to spend the last 3 days here with him and his team in a sales boot camp. I have learned so much. It is like the biggest game changer I've ever had. I cannot wait. I had so much fun today, which I know you're shocked about, right?
I'm shocked.
I had fun making cold calls because using what he's taught us. But more than that, we got new stuff happening the next 3 days.
And only Joe could get me to come all the way from Portland, Oregon to Orlando, Florida for a training class. That, Wendy, we spent our own money.
We did.
This is not corporate money. We spent our own money in order to get the training that we felt we needed to take our game up a notch, or 3,
or 10.
5. Yeah.
Well, 10. We're going to go with 10 because I'm going to tell you, after the last 3 days, I think the next 3 days, it's definitely going to be a 10. But you know, ladies, we did this today. So we're actually recording today because, as I said, we're going to be in class tomorrow. But we really wanted to come to you because we thought, oh, wait a minute. If we've made the decision to continue to learn and grow, maybe we better talk about that.
Well, and it's an important part for all entrepreneurs, Wendy. We have to continue to improve our business acumen, our skills, our abilities, and we need to come from the best to get those. And every good trainer and coach has a trainer and a coach, right? Is that right, Joe? And so we wanted to have the best as we were looking at sales, but also at our ability to speak and communicate our message. So here we are, and we're excited to share Joe with you today.
So, Joe, thank you for coming today and hanging out with us.
I get to hang out with you too.
And we're fun.
Yeah, you are fun.
And tonight he has another class that he's teaching on DISC, if I'm not mistaken, his DISC boot camp. I wish I would have known. I probably
next time we'll bring her back.
Oh,
deal.
God.
Yeah. Road trip.
Road trip.
Deal. I love it. I love it. Well, Joe, you know, a lot of what you've talked about is that continuing education to perfecting and getting better. What I'd love for you to do is share with our ladies a little of what you do and
yes.
maybe kind of why you do it, and maybe tell us a little smidge maybe about one of your really valuable tools that you can share with them that they can use.
Well, I think the topic you guys have chosen, personal growth and development, if you want to get a competitive edge in the marketplace today, you know, it's going to be the things you read, the seminars you attend, the personal professional growth. We're in a time where people are not embracing that. So you can get a competitive edge, you know, reading the right material, really going to the right seminars. But I have to tell you, if I want to give you a nugget, you know, take advantage of a seminar. If there's homework, do it. Before and after. It's not just to learn, it's how do you apply? If you're going to invest a minute, are you going to take it and apply? Because the growth comes in the application.
That is excellent. And, you know, we did our homework and kind of prepared. And one of the things that I loved, and Deborah and I were in agreement because, you know, I read it and then she read it. We came together and it's like, oh, we both love this. So one of the things that you talked about was doing a personal SWOT analysis.
Yeah.
Now, we teach doing a professional one for your business, right? It's an important component of your business plan and understanding that. But this was the first time I had ever heard of doing a personal SWOT.
Mhm.
And I love that because I always like to learn to get better and perfect my skills, but I had never thought to stop and look at it that detailed. So tell the ladies a little bit about a personal SWOT. What does that do?
Well, first of all, we all have to understand there was a book written many years ago called You Inc. I think we need to look at ourselves not only as people, but we are entrepreneurs. We are businesses unto ourselves. So a SWOT analysis works the same way, which is let's look at our strengths. What is our fastball? What do we do well? What are some of the gaps or weaknesses? What do I need to learn and get better at? Now, what are my potential opportunities? And what are potential threats? Now, I will tell you this about a SWOT. The secret to your success is in your weaknesses and your opportunities. Attending your seminars, you're gonna fill some gaps. You're going to fill some of the areas that are going to help you to take what you do to the next level. But that's only if you prepare by entering into the SWOT, doing an analysis, and then making sure that when you get to that seminar, you don't leave there until you get those areas filled.
Wow, that is so important. I think one of the things that as we were preparing for this, looking at, you talked about in that preparation for going to the seminar or a boot camp was to ask 3 to 5 questions. And how do we get ready to attend so we get the most out of it? Can you share with that,
Well,
Joe?
a couple questions. Number one, what is the most important thing I'm going to take away from this event? That's vitally important. You want to go in with expectations. We just completed a 3-day sales boot camp, 24 people from all over the country. The first thing I asked them to do was, what was the most important thing they could put in their toolbox? So I recommend that's your first question.
Good question.
The second question is, am I going in with the intent to apply this information? Learning is good, but learning with application is never learned. So if I'm going to invest my time, if I'm going to go to this event, am I going with the intent that I am going to take the material, I am going to keep it alive after I leave, and I'm going to apply? The third thing is, am I going to be an open vessel? Am I going to be humble enough to learn? I think whenever we go into a room, we can be proud or we can be humble, and the humble learn the best.
That is so profound, I think, Joe, about being humble. As a trainer and a coach, sometimes, and you've probably experienced this, where the audience member may think that they know more than you do, or that they've experienced it more, without being open to accept something new that comes to that. So it's not about their not being smart enough or experienced enough. It's really about what else can I learn that can help me to grow. How have you seen that play out in the students that you've trained over these many years?
I've been doing this since 1992. I'm old. And, people come into events in various ways. When I go into a corporation, sometimes the people feel like they have to be there. But when somebody makes a decision to go, that in and of itself is saying, I need help. Well, I think when they get in there, I think one of the most important things as you two do is to open up a transparency where no one is going to be embarrassed, nobody's going to be belittled, nobody's going to feel below, but everyone's going to learn. I had some veteran CEOs, people been in sales for 30 years, but they came in with a humility that was amazing, and they all said that they learned things that they had never approached. So my recommendation to you, in preparation, prepare your heart, prepare your mind, do the work before. That's going to be the preparation for fertile soil.
Yeah, and the other part of that too that I think is important is that being open, because you have given of your very valuable time. I understand we paid to come to this seminar, but I am quite certain that that was pennies on what your time is actually worth. I gave up an entire 6 days of work from my family. And when I say I gave up work, I'm not answering calls or anything. I mean, I have been present.
Yeah.
And so you have to, that commitment, that open vessel, that the person who's bringing the information, if you've trusted them enough to come and give of your resources, your revenue. That was another thing I learned, ladies, this fabulous, that revenue isn't just the dollars. The revenue is your spirit. It's your time. It's all of that. So there's one of my nuggets, ladies. I just shared that with you, so you can have it too. But there's that piece of it that if you've made that much of a commitment, you want to take every little bit that you can because you have sacrificed and make it worth your time. You know, we have our biblical entrepreneurship class. Now, that is not a light commitment.
Right.
It is 14 to 16 weeks of class. They come 2.5 hours a week, and then they've got about 5 to 6 hours of homework. It's not a small commitment, but I can always tell those who have said, I'm all in. I'm committed to this because I watched the Lord literally bless their business, bless the works of their hands. But you can tell it's because they are that open vessel. They are there to really bring all of that in. So I am in agreement. And ladies, you know, we don't do anything halfway, right? We're women, so we kind of jump in and everything. Do that with your training. Do that with your continuing education. I think that's important, but it's also important to have the right advisor. And that's one of the things that you mentioned today is to vet, even those free workshops, is to vet those individuals because that's part of the stuff you're putting inside, and you want to put good stuff, not yuck stuff. Right? That's a technical term, by the way, the yuck stuff.
And here's, whether you're paying a nickel, 1,000, people spend thousands of dollars to be in this room. But it's no different if it was a free. What we have to understand about success in all aspects, whether it's spiritual, whatever, what you put in your head is key. And so what you read, what you listen to, who you associate with, the biblical entrepreneurship covers all the bases. They're going to put you in an environment where you're going to learn skills and strategies and tactics, but they're going to put you into a biblical environment, a safe environment. My recommendation to you is spend some time on why you're going. If you put the time, why do I want to go to this? What do I want out of it? You know, is it worth these weeks? But if you don't go, here's my question. What if you don't? What were the opportunities you missed? What were the things you missed that could help you take what you do to the next level?
Well, Deborah and I weren't willing to miss any of the things we figured out. I'm just going to tell you, it is a bonus that I get to go out to dinner with Deborah tonight, ladies, so it's okay. But the thing is, we weren't willing to miss that. And that was something that we really had to look at because it was a sacrifice. I mean, you know, having to have other people cover for us and putting some things on hold, missing some meetings and things. But we sat down and asked, if we don't go, if we don't learn, what is it going to cost us at the end? So again, you know, we come together every Thursday for our 30 minutes to step away, but we also bring 3 things, remember ladies, 3 things that you can do. So we want to make sure we're giving them value too. This has just been so exciting. And I am just, I would love to ask you a million of questions. But ladies, I'm going to tell you, Dawn Pici is pretty amazing as well. I understand.
Dawn is, somebody said to me the other day, Dawn's your secret weapon. Dawn's no secret. Okay? Dawn is a powerhouse. Dawn is a business owner a magnificent speaker, content creator, ranked in the top 10 women on LinkedIn to follow. I could go on, but she's also homeschooling 2 grandchildren.
Wow.
See, my hat is off to the professional women in this world. Men get to do one thing, okay? Women wear many hats. And so my challenge to you is really take advantage of what these 2 wonderful people are offering. You know, I wish this program would have been around in my infancy stages of business.
I think we often say that.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, we've talked about, discovering what classes that we want to take and how to prepare for it. But once we leave, once we take the notebooks and all of our notes and everything home with us again, what are some tips that you have about how to really implement and begin to use the information?
Well, the first thing is look at the time you're investing. Why would you invest that time and go home and put the book on the shelf?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's the beginning. I think the other thing is if you go into this training and education with full intent of what am I wanting to learn, and the first thing you can do when you leave is go execute those things. The things you wanted most, go execute them over and over again. Keep that manual, keep those materials not on the shelf, but on your desk. Revisit them. Continue to grow. And if there's ongoing coaching, if there's ongoing support, take advantage of it. Because a training unto itself, you go, you get excited, you learn, you read the manual, but then you have a lifeline here. And I would recommend you take advantage of that.
That lifeline is so important because entrepreneurs feel that they are by themselves. They're usually working in an environment alone. They can't really go to their employees or to maybe even family to understand what's going on in their business. Where you have an opportunity to work with a coach or in a mastermind group, we have a business success accelerator, others that helps you to come together as a team, all working towards success. And how do we use that? We talk a lot about being a good steward, using the tools, equipment, money, your time, the information, and how important it is to be a good steward of those items as well. Wow, Wendy, this has been pretty rich today.
And we're not even done. We aren't even halfway. I mean, this is how boot camp has been. I have just been so filled up. But I've got a question for you, Joe. You've been in business, you said?
We've been in business since 1992.
So a couple of years.
A few.
You may have made, I don't know, a mistake or 2 along the road.
Oh, we made a lot of mistakes.
I call them bought and paid for lessons.
Big time.
So you can either pay to learn from the best so you don't make it, or I promise you'll get to pay about triple for the mistake. At least that's been my experience as an entrepreneur. So what I would love to ask you is, what's one thing, if you could go back and tell yourself to not do it all, to save yourself from making that one mistake?
In business?
In business.
Well, you may not want to hear this. I think the biggest mistake I made, that we all make, is entrusting the wrong people.
Oh, that's a big one.
I had to create a vetting process that was biblically based because we made some mistakes with people we either partnered up with, created a strategic alignment. Remember something. When you're in business, you're building a brand. And if you get involved with the wrong people, whether you do anything or not, it'll destroy your work. So if I could go back, there are a couple times that we entered into a strategic alliance. I didn't vet the situation well enough. It cost us time. It cost us money. We learned from it. We grew from it, but that's it.
If you're going to vet, what were some questions you'd ask yourself or you'd ask the partnership that you were coming into? What are some things that would be important to know?
I wouldn't ask them anything. I would have evaluated their actions, not their words. I have become 100% action-based in my decision-making. Words lie, behavior never lies. Okay.
Okay.
And so I would have done a better job of reading the signs of their behavior and put less trust in their words.
Wow. So, where you look at their clientele, how would you look at behavior? What are some items?
The first time somebody says something that's not true, you need to run away.
Well, hallelujah to that. That's my number one core value, and that is truth. Violate the truth, that's it. It's over. You cannot build trust on that. Yeah. Wow. That is very important.
Well, I think that that's really great. And as I've been growing my region, I have been looking at creating those alliances and those partnerships. So I really appreciate that and making sure that we are a good fit. I think, you had mentioned maybe on day one, date them. Don't marry them. Date them first.
Yeah,
let's get to know them. I think you used honeymoon, but I'm going to go a step back and let's just, go back to dating them maybe.
I think that we all want to believe the best about people. But we all have to understand in the sinful nature, people do wrong things.
That's true.
Okay? So I don't judge people, but I am very careful on who I align with.
Wow. Important to protect ourselves, our business, our customers, our employees, vendors, all of that, by not making those wrong alliances. And they may not even be bad people, just wrong. It's not the right fit that comes along. An opportunity.
I think that we tend, when we believe that we are equally yoked with people, I think we believe they're entitled to referrals. When in fact, referrals need to be earned, with action. And so personally, I will never give a person a referral unless I have 100% trust that they're going to take care of. Remember what the word client means. It means under your protection. I don't call anybody I do business with a customer. They're my client. It's up to me to protect them. So I'm not going to refer somebody to them that's not going to do the job.
Love that. Yeah, and I think that's important because your reputation is as much on the line as theirs. Yeah. Wow. Important to do.
And I years ago, I sought out an expert to advise me on some challenges. I don't know, ladies, maybe you've never had this problem in your business, a cash flow problem. I don't know, some challenges with some things, and you just didn't know how to solve it. You didn't know what you didn't know. You didn't know the questions to ask, and you weren't sure. And I actually went to an advisor and I asked the questions, and I will never forget looking at them going, you didn't really just recommend me do that, did you? Because that's not in alignment with my core values. So I love what you said about making sure that you vetted them. I thought that this was a reliable source, but I honestly, again, don't share this with just everybody, but I was so desperate at that point. I was ready to just do anything. And that is not a good place to come from. And I that's again where I was really pleased that my truth didn't allow me to go down that, because if I had gone down that path, I probably would have lost my business. I probably would have, but more than that, I would have lost the trust of my clients.
Sure.
And that's why I was just, I remember thinking, you really can't be serious. He's in the middle of talking, and I literally got up and walked out of the room. I'm sure he's probably going, what is wrong with that woman? But again, he was in the middle of talking, and I felt not so bad. Maybe, I'd like to say I felt bad for getting up while he was in the middle of talking, but probably not. Sorry, ladies, that's probably not a good thing to admit, but I really wasn't, because I felt that my compass, I was staying on course, and that was just really an important thing. So I love that you talked about the right advisor, the right coach, the right training, the right seminars, the right books, because that's another thing. he mentioned today, be careful what you're reading. You know, don't put garbage in there that starts to roll around. Might come out.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
It does come out.
That is so true. But, you know, I think there's a more important point that you made, Wendy, and that is we have to, sometimes women tend to be polite. And we are going to sit and we wait and we let people go too far without, as you did, Wendy, saying, no, this is crossing my line. I now need to leave, and taking action to get up and do it. And that is about respecting ourselves and respecting our values that we have, respecting what we know is truth from the Lord. And if we don't stand up and say, nope, sorry, this isn't working for me, this isn't in alignment with how I see my faith, my family, my work, myself, then it's time for me not to accept this. And we have to be able to say no thank you to that and be strong enough. And it's not about being rude. It's not about saying somebody's wrong or bad, but rather they're saying this is not applicable to me.
So don't do what I did.
No, I think
So
it's
what
good.
I should have done was say, thank you, but that's not going to work for me, and I appreciate your time, and walked out. I probably should have gone that route, maybe. But I think, you know, looking back, you know, we do learn and grow. It's another one of those mistakes I have to learn from, right?
That's life.
That's right. That's life. Well, Joe, you know, I would love we're coming down to our time, ladies. I know we only got 30 minutes. They got to get back to work. You know, they're homeschooling and running businesses and serving their clients and doing 1,000,001 things. But, you know, I really want you to share with them how they can, if you want to get in touch with Joe, because as I said, ladies, we got smart. We committed to learning. So how can they connect with you?
Well, first, you'll know if you want to work with me, okay? Before you just, I think I want to talk to Joe because...
Okay.
But you'll know if you want to work with me if you want to really generate better leads, get in front of your target market, be able to sell your product or service, or like they're doing, learn more about the business of speaking, training, and coaching. But here's what I'm offering to you. Number one, just call me, 407-947-2590. I also have a free gift for all of you.
Ooh, we didn't know about that.
Well, I want to surprise you.
Yeah, we love that.
You take out your phone and you go to the text message box and you type in one word, Sales Edge. Now make sure it stays one word because some iPhones will break it up. So put quotes around it. Text that to 55678. That's going to take you to a Pici link. It'll take you to a splash page. There's 5 free video e-course on recapture lost revenue to virtual selling. There's a link to our sellmorevirtually.com membership site, but there's free stuff on that too.
Wow.
There's links to our podcast, The Sales Edge. Comes out every Tuesday, every Thursday. It's about business growth and development. And there's 2 free downloads, one on sales and one on LinkedIn.
Excellent. And I heard today, I've already shared it with Deborah, we're very excited, we're going to figure this one out too, that Dawn does LinkedIn training.
Dawn does LinkedIn training. It's a 2-hour Zoom call with you. She takes over your LinkedIn and live, and she makes it more client-centric, teaches you how to mine leads, and teaches you how to really generate better contacts and leads.
Love it.
Social media is so important, and even more important these days, and being able to get information from an expert that can help us to do that. Well worth 2 hours of our time on Zoom. I don't know what the cost is. Ladies, look it up, whatever it may be. Make sure that you're a part of that as well to move your business forward. Joe, thank you for those wonderful gifts.
Hey, my pleasure.
That is wonderful. Take advantage of that, ladies.
Christmas in April.
I love that. I love that. But you know, ladies, we didn't do this lightly. Bringing on Joe, sharing what we're doing. We wanted to do this to lead by example. We wanted to say we believe in the importance of continuing to grow and learn. So thank you so much, Joe, for
My
taking this
pleasure.
time tonight.
Thanks for having me, and can't wait for you guys tomorrow. You're going to have a blast. In fact, tomorrow, I just did the sales boot camp myself, but tomorrow, Friday and Saturday, Dawn and I split the train together.
Oh, good.
And you're going to have a blast.
I can't wait for that. Well, we always end with a couple of scripture that we want you to remember today. And then we're going to start with Proverbs 12, and that is verse 1. Whoever loves instruction loves knowledge, but one who hates correction is stupid. Otherwise, just really right out
really
there.
like that.
Just, that's how it is. Oh, and then the second one today is from Proverbs 16:3. Commit your activities to the Lord, and your plans will be achieved. Before you start on any activity, before you take on any new training course, that you want to make sure that you've already talked to the Lord. He's given you that green light and encouraged you to participate. What a great privilege, Joe. I can't wait for tomorrow. I kept getting these texts from Wendy saying, oh my gosh, I can't tell you what I've learned. I'm thinking, I got to hurry up and get on this plane and get out there. Because
well, you're here now.
Now I'm here, and it was worth the red eye. I can't wait to get here and see tomorrow what we're going to be able to do.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
So watch us on our Facebook page, because we'll be posting updates and letting you know what we're learning tomorrow as well. And maybe, Joe, you'll see some of our ladies will say, we saw you on Women in Business.
You know what?
Take a breath.
But more exciting, I'm going to see you two tomorrow.
I know. Well, ladies, it's time to get back to work. I know we're a little over, so thank you for that today. But we always want to leave you with this one important thing. Look to the Lord and his strength. Seek his face always. 1 Chronicles 16:11. Y'all have a blessed day. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon on Thursday. Watch for some posts. You never know. Y'all have a blessed one. Bye-bye.
Bye.